Hello, everybody. So, first, I just want to start off this video by giving thanks to the Most High. Because, frankly, without Him, and a lot of people can say this, I wouldn't be here talking right now. And I dare to go so far as to say that my life is proof of His existence. My life has been miracle after miracle. More so over the last year, probably than any other point in time in my life, but the things that I have survived can't be explained logically. And I'm a logical person. I always prided myself on my logic. And when I try to play devil's advocate and discredit the things that have happened in my life, I can't. Truthfully, I don't want to. I've always known God existed since since about 5 years old. I was aware of His existence, maybe even earlier. But this journey, although it's been one of the most difficult things, no, it's definitely the most difficult thing I've ever been through in my entire life. I could not have done it without that strength that she provides. Without that nurturing, that love, that support, that guidance. I mean, when I was stuck in Yosemite National Park with nothing but my backpack and a sleeping bag, no food, no money. I don't remember how long I was there, a week or two, somewhere in there. But it was days on end of walking and going without water and food I didn't go very long without water. Father always managed to provide water regularly. Food, I would go up to 5 days without eating, but I never felt hungry. I always felt sustained. I always had energy. Even though when I started on that journey, I was obese. I had recently quit methamphetamines. I'm not going to say I was going through DTs, but I was definitely having to deal with cravings and such. And I just physically wasn't well. And I was so out of shape, I could probably maybe walk with that backpack maybe a quarter mile, and then I'd have to stop and rest if I could. It was a very slow journey. I really didn't make it a huge distance, but it was walk until I couldn't, rest, get up and walk until I couldn't. It's something, in all honesty, I recommend it for those who are in a position in life where you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, you basically got a decision, either live or die. That's where I was. Just give it up to God. And I didn't start out on that trip voluntarily. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say that I planned on throwing myself out in the middle of nowhere like that. That's not it at all. But I did put it to God that I couldn't go on like I was. But dying wasn't an option. I just refused to let that be an option. I already went through a suicidal stage in my life, and I already made a serious attempt at my life once upon a time. I ended up in the hospital, and I should have died from it, but again, it's one of those miracles. I'm just grateful. At the time, I wasn't. At the time, I was cussing and screaming, not at God. I knew better than to do that, but I was still cussing and screaming and very unhappy, crying, going through all the emotions you could imagine. But it was such a healing process. Painful. Oh, so painful. But I lost weight. I eventually got healthy, mentally, physically, spiritually. during that period of time, I had nothing but time to work on my traumas, to think, to be deeply introspective. I've always been a little bit different than most people. I've always had the ability to be unbiased in my introspection, have the ability not to cling to, for the most part, not to cling to things I know didn't serve me. I can't say that was 100% of the time. I remember when I was addicted to fentanyl. Yeah, I was rationalizing, justifying, doing everything I could to keep doing it, but for the most part, when it came to dealing with my traumas, I had no problems facing my traumas. I know that's a huge obstacle for some people. They're terrified of facing their shadow side. Me, I just remembered what Dwayne Johnson said, and I've said this in another video. He said that his adversities that were in front of him, he placed them behind him like a wall at his back, so that he only had one direction to go, forward. And I kind of took that approach. No, not kind of. I really took that approach. I did not allow for failure. I did a lot of healing. 50 years, almost 50 years of healing in 6 months period of time. It's a lot of growth really fast, and I could not have done that without the strength and guidance and love of the Most High. Now, this is just a small portion of the things that God has guided me through and saved me from. There have been so many times in my life that I realized that I should have died. I'm not going to get into it all because it'll be a very long video, but I mean, I've been shot at. I've had guns pointed at me point blank by people who are very serious about using that weapon. I've had murderers target me. Just a couple cases, it was just random. A family targeting me, trying to take me out. So-called friends helping. I had to deal with gang stalkers, a coven of witches, and just fake people throughout my entire life. And I'm not complaining about this, because as I did learn in this last 6 months, these are opportunities for growth, and I had a lot of those opportunities. But I couldn't have done it without having my eyes on God. Now, I'll be honest though, I'm getting burnt. I'm getting burnt on being out here. I'm cold, I'm tired, and I really want some good healthy food, and I know this journey will end soon. I don't know how. I know that Father will provide a way. I just had to say that because I've been holding that in. I haven't had anybody to talk to since I've been out here. It's part of the reason I do these videos is it's kind of therapeutic for myself. I don't really honestly care if anybody watches them. Thank you, YouTube, for being my therapist for free. Don't bother sending me a bill. I ain't got nothing to send you in for payment. Put it on my tab. At any rate, I feel like I've said all I want to say for today. I feel blessed. Regardless of how tired and burnt I am, I still feel very blessed. And I know that I'm going to miss this, though. You know, I've always loved nature. I really have, but I've never lived out in it to the extent that I have in these last 6 months. I've done a lot of camping in my life. My dad, or the man who raised me, I can't really call him my dad, but the man who raised me was a mountain man. So he was a gold miner. I got to grow up in the mountains of Colorado and the cliffs of Utah. I got to experience a lot of nature when I was younger, but not like this. Not to this extent. I've been cold, I've been freezing, But mostly, I've just been in serenity. Not the first couple months, no. There are a lot of things I had to learn along the way to make my trip a little more bearable, but once I got into the swing of things, I've really kind of come to enjoy the solitude, enjoy the comfort of nature, of Mother Earth, enjoy her warm embrace at night. And when this ends, I'm going to miss it, because I know that Father has a plan for me. And I know I'm going to be very busy, and I'm not going to get nearly as much time to be out here like this. I will miss it. And I know that, in a way, I'm kind of saying goodbye a little bit early to this, but I know it's coming soon. I can feel it in my bones. And I keep getting spiritual messages that it's about over. So, yeah, with that, I'll sign off. I love you all, whoever watches this. God be with you.